welcome to Lingua Marina. I am a person who took TOEFL twice, but I know a lot of you guys are actually preparing for IELTS, and I have something special for you. I have a person, just listen to it. I have a person who scored 9.0 out of 9.0 on IELTS, and today she's gonna share her best tips with you. You guys asked so many times for this, and I didn't have a chance to take that test, but Anastasia did, and she's amazing. So please welcome Anastasia on this channel, and she's going to share her tactics on taking the IELTS test. Welcome, Anastasia.
Hey everyone, my name is Anastasia. Welcome to the IELTS preparation guide. Today we're gonna go over the key points that will help you excel on the IELTS exam and achieve your desired score. Before we get started, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I've been teaching academic English and helping students prepare for the IELTS exam for over 10 years. I achieved a score of 9 on the IELTS exam, and I know how challenging this preparation can be, especially for those of you who are still struggling with English. There are actually two types of the IELTS exam: the IELTS General and the IELTS Academic. The IELTS General is for people who want to live and work in an English-speaking country, and it focuses on assessing English in everyday situations. The IELTS Academic is for those who want to study overseas, and it's designed to assess their ability to study in English. To score well on both the IELTS General and IELTS Academic tests, it's crucial to familiarize yourself with the test format and know what to expect on the day of the test. Both tests consist of 4 sections: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. The listening and speaking tests are the same for both the IELTS Academic and the IELTS General training, but the reading and writing tests differ. Let us start with the listening section. Once again, it's the same for the General training and academic versions, and it will be the first section that you will take on your exam day. The listening section consists of 4 recorded monologues and conversations. There are 10 questions after each monologue or conversation. The listening section normally takes 30 to 40 minutes. A very important note: you will hear the tape only once, so you will have to excel at multitasking and answer the questions while you listen. To succeed in the listening section, there are several tips you should follow. First and foremost, practice listening to different accents, because the recordings include speakers from different English-speaking countries. Get ready to hear British, Scottish, Welsh, Australian, New Zealand, American, and Canadian accents, with the Australian, Scottish, and Welsh accents being the most difficult to understand. I recommend listening to podcasts, not only because they expose you to different accents, but also because they help you improve your listening skills, build new vocabulary, improve your pronunciation and intonation, and generate ideas for your essays in the writing section. Honestly, any podcast will do, but for those of you whose level is around intermediate, I recommend listening to BBC 6-Minute English. The name says it all. Each podcast is only 6 minutes long and provides you with a list of new vocabulary and a transcript. Tip number 2, make sure your spelling is good. You may be surprised, but your spelling is very important for your score on the listening section. I have a lot of students who understand most of the words they hear in the listening section, but have trouble with their spelling. The sad truth about the IELTS listening section is that if you make even a tiny spelling mistake in your answer, you won't get any points for that answer, even if the word you meant to write was the correct one. By the way, both the UK and US spellings are acceptable, but it's best to be consistent in the version you use. Tip number 3, use practice materials to improve your ability to follow conversations and lectures. It is crucial that you know the words that you are listening for during each section. The ability to identify the key words in the questions and predict the possible answers can only be developed while practicing. Now let's talk about the reading section. This section comes second on the test and is different for the IELTS General and IELTS Academic tests. Despite the differences, the reading section for both tests is 60 minutes long and consists of 3 sections. each section being harder than the one before it. There are 40 questions you need to answer altogether, and the question types are the same for both tests. The main difference between the two tests is the number and length of passages you will need to read, as well as their topics. While the IELTS Academic has academic passages, the IELTS General has passages and topics related to everyday life and work to ace the reading section. The first thing you need to do is enhance your reading skills. This can be done by working on your skimming, scanning, and detailed reading techniques. These techniques are essential for working with different types of questions in the reading section. Speed reading is another important skill to work on, as your ability to read in general can be a decisive factor in your final score in this section. Use a special website for improving speed reading called Speeder to increase the speed with which you read. Another tip is to expand your vocabulary to understand different topics. I suggest writing down words from practice tests and learning new vocabulary from specialized textbooks. A really good one I can recommend is Barron's Essential Words for the IELTS. In the writing section, for the academic IELTS, there are 2 essays, and for the general IELTS, 1 essay and 1 letter. They're known as Task 1 and Task 2. Task 1 can be a letter or an analysis of a graph, while Task 2 is a typical essay and is the same for both types of IELTS. To succeed in the writing section, it's important to organize your thoughts clearly and coherently for both Task 1 and Task 2 essays. Many students focus solely on grammar and vocabulary, forgetting the content, structure, and organization are also important. In fact, they account for almost half of your writing score. So plan your ideas carefully. You should also pay attention to grammar, punctuation, and sentence structure. Be sure to revise complex, compound, and complex compound sentences, the basics of punctuation, as well as articles. Every single essay I have reviewed so far has contained many article errors. Practice writing essays under time pressure to improve your speed. If you're taking a computer-based IELTS, you should also work on your typing skills. You can use the Fast Fingers website to improve your typing speed. It will also help you improve your spelling. Finally, the speaking section. The IELTS speaking section consists of 3 parts. In part 1, you'll be asked questions about 2 different topics related to your life. In part 2, you have 1 to 2 minutes to talk about the topic given on the test. Part 3 lasts for 4 to 5 minutes and includes further questions connected to the main topic in part 2. You will also get questions on related subtopics. You'll need to give longer answers, often up to 1 minute or longer, with many details. Some tips for the speaking section. Practice speaking English regularly to build up your confidence. As simple as it sounds, it's one of the most important things you can do to be successful on the day of the test. For example, you could summarize the videos on the Economist YouTube channel. Record yourself answering sample questions to identify areas for improvement. You want to avoid grammatical errors, usually articles, tenses, and conditionals. Sound natural and use precise and idiomatic vocabulary. Familiarize yourself with common topics and practice expressing yourself fluently. One of my students was given a monologue about his favorite perfume on the day of the exam. So, if you don't prepare in advance, you may find it difficult to come up with ideas to talk about. Look at sample answers. There are lots of sample speaking interviews on YouTube, and while not all of them are good, if you're aiming for scores of 8, 8.5, and 9, you are likely to get some decent answers. Listen to the questions. Try to answer them yourself first, then listen to the person answering the same question and write down useful words and phrases. Then try to answer the same question again. And of course, pay attention to pronunciation and intonation. Now that you know how the test works, let's go over some general tips and tricks to help you prepare for the test. Number 1, take practice tests under simulated test conditions to build stamina and reduce test day anxiety. Many students forget to time themselves as they go through the test sections, and the scores they receive do not reflect their true abilities. Time is limited on the test day, so you want to be prepared. Tip number 2, review and learn from your mistakes to continually improve. I can't stress enough how important it is to analyze your mistakes. If you just take tests, get your scores, and move on, you will not improve quickly. So after you finish the test, always go back and see what you did wrong and how that mistake could have been avoided. Tip number 3, always explain in your mind why you chose a particular answer. This applies to both the reading and listening sections. In my one-on-one sessions, I usually ask students to justify every choice they make. Then, even when they do a test on their own, they will always explain to themselves why they chose a particular answer, which helps them avoid mistakes and get higher scores. Tip number 4, use a variety of resources, including IELTS preparation books, online courses, and practice tests. I know some people who only used one resource to prepare for the test, and all of them underperformed on the test day because they weren't fully prepared. All the practice materials you can find are slightly different of what you'll get on the day of the test. So the more resources you use to prepare, the better. If your level is not high, you should consider enrolling in an IELTS preparation course for focused instruction, especially to improve writing and speaking skills. Tip number 5, work in academic vocabulary and synonyms. Part of your success on the IELTS exam comes from knowing synonyms and academic vocabulary and being good at paraphrasing. The reading and listening tasks require good paraphrasing skills because the text and audio use different words than those in the questions. One of my students struggled with his reading section and couldn't get more than a 7 because he just couldn't find the right part of the text. Most importantly, remember that although IELTS may seem intimidating and challenging at first, it's nothing more than a regular test that can become very easy once you know how to approach it. Remember that consistent and focused practice is the key to success. Stay calm on the day of the test and approach each section with a positive attitude. If you're planning to take the IELTS in the near future, join our IELTS preparation course. In the course, we'll help you prepare for the exam in 2 weeks and achieve a high score. We'll teach you how to tackle different types of questions in both the reading and listening sections, discuss how to paraphrase effectively in the writing section, and share strategies for the speaking section. To learn more, click on the link in the description below. That's all for today. I hope you found this video helpful. Good luck on your IELTS journey. You got this.
Well, that was it. Thank you so much, Anastasia. Guys, let me know down in comments below, when is your test and what is the score that you're targeting? If you're looking to score 6.5 or above, I highly recommend Anastasia's course on Lingua Trip. As you may have noticed, she's an amazing teacher, she's an accredited teacher, and her course is a great part of IELTS preparation. Because you're watching this video, you're getting a very special discount. Please find the link down below, please find a promo code down below, and please come back to this video when you take your IELTS test and share your results and share what worked for you, because this is going to be tremendously useful for other students. I remember when I took my TOEFL, I went back to all the forums where I got all the information about how to take the test, and I shared whatever I experienced, whatever I felt during the test, and hopefully that helped, and that way I gave back to the community. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next videos on this channel. Bye!